you say you need to know the vocab so you can understand the question and pass the test, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, like the wording will really throw me off. And I know like your practice exams are kind of like that, which it gets me thinking, but do you think like also on the real estate exam it's probably going to be like that as well, where they're going to try to trick you?
That's why I want you to focus on the vocabulary and then do a lot of practice questions.
Gotcha.
So let's do some vocabulary real quick.
Okay.
A little warm up here, and then we'll do some questions, okay?
You got it, man.
All right, ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Okay, so this is the flashcard section in your control panel, so you can always go to this.
Okay.
And,
blanket mortgage.
Yeah, and by the way, I recommend going through this a little bit. It's very kind of mindless, but you could go through it over and over again.
Yeah.
And just flash through a lot of things. And you kind of want to mix things up a little bit, so it's a good thing to do. So what do you know about a blanket mortgage?
Isn't a blanket mortgage usually used to buy a lot of commercial property? And,
So just remember, covering more than one property.
Okay.
But you're not wrong. But I'm just trying to narrow it down to the easiest word.
Okay.
Okay, what do you know about this one?
It's 43,360 square feet, I think.
Oh.
Or 365. 43,650 or
43,560. Just remember, if you swap the first two, it means 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Got you. That's an easy way of remembering.
Right. I also remember by 4 plus 3, 7, 5, 6, 0 is 11, 7, 11. Everybody remembers 7, 11.
Everybody remembers 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Ooh, redlining. Are you talking about as far as this is what this is obviously illegal and this is what mortgage lenders would do sometimes? It's discriminatory from the Fair Housing Act, and they specifically designate like who they're going to give their approving to or not for their funding.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Good.
A net listing is if anything over the asking price, the broker or the salesperson, the broker get to keep. The broker gets to keep.
Good.
So yeah, you sell a house for $500,000, and they only asking $450. You get the other $50. Okay, grantor. Yeah, so grantor is the giver, and the grantee is a receiver. But
giver
a grantor
what?
is they're the ones that are signing over like a grant deed. They would be the ones signing. Okay, they're the one pretty much. Okay, yeah, one who grants property to a property right.
Let's do 10 more. Ready?
Okay. A mortgage yield. Is this like the ratio of how much you owe, or the loan to value ratio?
The effective interest rate obtained. So it's it's the interest rate obtained from investor. Okay, so there's one.
Personal property. That's stuff like a lease. It's pretty much movable. That's the easiest way you could say it. It's movable.
Okay.
An easement appurtenant. Isn't this when it's a dominant and a servient, and you can go ahead and the person who has the dominant property is taking advantage over the servient. I mean, the servient is serving them.
Right. So the permanent right to use another's land for the benefit of a neighboring parcel. Okay.
Right.
And it's the right to cross the property. And an appurtenant means it goes with the property. That's why it's permanent right. Okay.
Okay.
Next one.
Condemnation is the type of compensation that eminent domain, the government needs to pay you in order to take your property.
Good. Let's do 3 more.
Blighted area. I couldn't even take a guess on this one. I actually never heard of this.
It's an area that's been kind of hurt. So it's like a downtrodden area.
Oh, okay. Negative amortization. I think this is when you're not paying your principal or your interest as much as you should. So your loan's going higher.
Good. So the debt goes up.
The debt goes up. I mean, correct.
So 2 more.
What means that you know, you could, if you sign a contract under duress or fear, but you actually end up liking the house, you know, that can go. That's actually like a void contract. But if you end up saying, no, you know, this wasn't what I wanted, you know, instead of a blue house, it's a green, it's voidable. You can cancel that contract if the party wants to.
Okay, let's go last one.
And this is what's stating of this isn't what needs to be in writing, correct?
Nope.
This is statute of limitations, so this is the time frame something needs to be done at.
Good. Time. Excellent. Perfect. Let's go back to your account. And let's get back to...
Best decision I made, man, purchasing this program.
Oh, thank you.
YouTube really had taught me a lot, but like YouTube was more about the examples and how, you know, you got to the conclusion you did, and this is better.
Yeah, so let's go over some of these that you got wrong on this right-hand side.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, so that's the key word that sometimes throws me off. Basis. The basis of real property is a property. Is basis, I think is that the cost?
Dude, you're going to pass. You're doing very well. I mean, you know a lot of these terms. You're not perfect, but you certainly, know your stuff.
So is basis, is that just...
I mean, the larger term is the cost basis.
So if I buy a house for $360,000, that's the basis price?
Yes.
Okay. Withdrawals from the real estate broker's client trust account can be made by the broker or which of the following people when authorized by the broker. So in this one, I actually put anyone who I wrote when authorized by broker in writing, but it's actually anyone employed by the anyone employed by the broker. Or no, only salespeople actually. Oh, okay. See, I'm second guessing myself. Okay.
Yeah. So excuse me, I got a little cough here.
You're okay, man.
So here's the tricky part to this one. They do have to be authorized by the broker.
Okay.
But that authorization does not have to be in writing.
Gotcha.
So when people see this, authorized, okay, and this is a really great one to go over. So people see this, authorized, in writing. And they go, oh, well, of course they need to be authorized. That makes sense. But what they forget in this question, this is why it's tricky, it says authorized right here.
Oh.
Do you see that?
I do, yeah.
And people miss that. So it says, if it just said, withdrawals from real estate broker's client trust account can be made by the broker or by which of the following people without saying anything more, then you could go with that one. But then it says, when authorized by the broker. So they've already been authorized.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
And that's why it's tricky, is people miss that it says authorized in the question.
Right. Okay.
So that was a great one to go over.
To assign a contract for the sale of real estate means to transfer one's right under the contract, permit another broker to act as an agent for the principal, record the contract, or allow the seller and the buyer to exchange. I'm going to do transfers one right under the contract.
Good.
Okay. To assign a contract for the sale of real estate. The majority of money used for loans of real estate comes from individual savings.
Good.
All of the following are sufficient to convey an interest in real property, except a bill of sale. That's used for personal property.
Man, you're doing awesome.
Timothy owns a 20-unit income property in Madison, Wisconsin, and he added the pool. He added a 20-unit income property in Yuma, Arizona. He added a pool to the property as well. Because of the climate, the pool had a greater effect on the net income in Yuma than it did in Madison. This I believe, would be principle of contribution.
Contribution?
Contribution, thank you.
Man, if you don't pass, I'm going to be so depressed. I mean, you know your stuff. You totally know your stuff.
It's just constant memorization, man, and I've been trying to memorize.
When's your test? How many days from now?
Monday.
So tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, just today, just keep banging out these questions and do that flashcard stuff, and you'll be fine. Because you're on a good track. You've studied. You're clearly prepared. You just need to kind of relax a little and just go through this stuff.
When you were talking about, you had videos as far as like test strategies and how to the best way of taking a test, and you went over that you should put the ones you know right off the bat on one column. You should just fill them out. 2, if you kind of know them but you're kind of second chancing yourself, is in that middle column, and then 3 is like you don't know it but you're gonna take your best shot at it. With the way the exam is set up, is that something I can do? Like, will they hand me a piece of paper that I can actually like fill that out?
Yes.
Okay, so, but how about as far as like if I go through the questions, is it gonna make it where I can't go back to that question?
No, you could go back.
Okay, so what's best? Is it just like straight off the bat, don't answer any questions?
No, answer the ones you're completely sure of.
Okay.
And then do that strategy we spoke about.
Okay.
But, the ones that you're completely sure of, don't waste time. Just fill it out.
All right.
All right? That column is for the ones that you're not completely sure of, those 3 columns. Do you have any doubt? It's like minimal doubt, some doubt, and maximum doubt,
Okay.
The ones you're completely sure, you should fill out right there.
Okay.
All right? Let's answer this one.
Is using a market data approach, comparing the prices of comparable properties to the subject property. If the comparable property has a feature that is not present in the subject property, the value of that feature will be this is kind of a difficult one. I think it's subtracted from the sales price of the comparables.
Dude, you get like 100%.
The purchase contract between a buyer and a seller resulted in a disagreement between them about the refund of the deposit, which the broker had placed into his trust account. Since the broker was unable to resolve the disagreement, he deposited the money with a court and relinquished any claim to the deposit, thereby forcing the parties to settle the matter without involving a broker. This act is called an interpleader action.
Woo! Look at you. You could teach this after you pass.
Hey, only if we have some type of thing worked out. If a contract for sale provides that the owner is selling his home in as-is condition, then the hidden and latent defects must still be disclosed to the purchaser, or else that would be misrepresentation.
Good. Now keep in mind, these aren't the easy ones you're doing well. These are the tougher ones you got wrong before.
Oh,
so you got to be feeling good about yourself now. You should.
A valid deed. Ooh, see, this is okay. A valid deed must contain. It's a granting clause, I believe.
All right, here we go. Next one.
When a judgment is duly recorded, subsequent buyers and innocent purchasers who are ignorant of the recording have received. When a judgment is duly recorded.
It's a tougher one. Let's see if you get this one.
Duly recorded. See, now I got to break down this question. So what does subsequent means? What does that mean?
Try to answer it first, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay. When a judgment is duly recorded, subsequent buyers and innocent purchasers who are ignorant of the recording have. I'm gonna go. Is duly recorded. I'm gonna go with actual notice. Yeah. Oh man, it's constructive. I know it is. I knew it.
Subsequent's people following. Okay.
What does that mean? Subsequent.
Next, people who are next.
Okay.
Okay, so a judgment is duly recorded. Okay, so they recorded a judgment.
Okay.
Borrowers who are following, we'll look at it that way, who don't know about the recording. Okay, they're ignorant of it. Okay, gotcha. So that's actual notice is when you actually know. Constructive notice is when you know through other people's actions, but you don't really, nobody's actually told you. You don't have first-hand knowledge.
Got you. Constructive would be like, something on the door, right? Saying eviction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, constructive eviction example would be turning off the hot water. I mean, the place becomes unlivable.
Okay, right, yeah. The landlord has a legal responsibility in doing.
Right. So he's not actually evicting you. He's making it unlivable on purpose to get you out.
Got you. Okay, let's see. Sam owned a triplex valued at $160,000 with an adjusted basis of $70,000. King owned a duplex valued at $155,000. Both properties were owned free and clear. They exchanged their properties, with King giving Sam $5,000 in cash for federal income tax purposes. Okay, I'm gonna say Sam has a recognizable gain.
Boom! That's
Awesome.
a really hard one. You got that one right.
All right. As one of the qualifications for depreciation deduction for income tax purposes, the real property must be it's one of the qualifications for a depreciation deduction. I'm going to say improved.
Perfect.
When a judgment is duly recorded, subsequent buyers and innocent purchasers. Oh, we got this. Constructive notice.
Good. Okay. Now remember, you could always print this if need be.
Okay.
You see how I just did that there? Then it goes
awesome.
to my printer.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right. So you can always print this out if need be, if you want to carry it around. And you have your exams there. Okay. So let's go back to this, and let's go back to your account. And let's do some more flashcards real quick. You remember this one?
Yeah, this is kind of like a rundown area, you said.
Good.
Economic obsolescence. This is something that's you can't really control. It's something happening outside of your property lines that's affecting the value of your home.
Good.
Tax shelter. It's mainly used for income tax and yeah, it's where you can write off taxes, maintenance, mortgage insurance, interest, and insurance. Okay. An injunction. I believe this is what tells you to stop doing something, a particular act. Okay. A lien is lien money. It's something that's encumbered.
So by the way, this shows up really well on your smartphone, on your iPhone. It sounds like you had an iPhone.
Okay. Wait, like the practice exam?
Well, the flashcards especially.
Oh, okay.
Practice exams too. What I'm doing here comes across really good.
Okay.
On the iPhone, if you're ever doing that.
That's good because the morning before the exam, I can just
exactly. So, or if you're just sitting there waiting online, you could just bang through these really quickly. It doesn't take as much time to read everything, go through it. You can just be like next, next, next.
Okay. Grantee is the one receiving. They're the one that's going to be
Because we did Grantor, and now you got the grantee, the one to whom the grant is made.
Generally the buyer. Yep. Riparian, right? That's obviously not necessarily the opposite. It's just this is when your land is adjoining a moving stream of water. For example, like a river.
Good. Let's go back there. So we did that one.
That one I just started yesterday. Malcolm is buying a residence. After signing a valid agreement for sale, he asks the broker for permission to move into the property before the sale closes. The broker should get written permission from the seller. You always need permission from the seller in order to do something like that.
Good.
Which of the following loans would be most likely to qualify for FHA insurance? A loan to buy farm equipment, a loan to purchase a farm, a loan to purchase 1 to 4 units. It's that one. It's a loan to purchase 1 to 4 units of residential rental property. Which of the following pairs of words or synonyms. All right. It's going to be construction loan and interim loan.
Honestly, man, you seem to be doing great with this. I mean, I just think you do those flashcards today and keep doing these questions in a very relaxed manner. Don't feel too much pressure, and you're going to be great. What's so good about you right now is a lot of people say don't study the day before exam. Just relax because they don't want a lot of pressure on their brain, and they don't want people to get stressed.
Okay.
I mean, you've probably heard that before. The day before your exam, just leave it alone, correct?
Exactly, yeah, because they say, all right, well, we don't want you to overdo it and fry your brain.
But here's the thing with you, and this is what I wish other people understand, is that because you've put in the work already, your brain's not getting fried today. Your brain's getting fried when people are stressing. They're taking the exam, and everything's brand new. All the information's new, and they're trying to learn it and cram. You're not cramming. You're genuinely just reviewing at this point,
Yeah, I see where you're kind of going with that.
You know what I mean? It's not this highly stressful process for you to look at it today because you've put in the work.
So you're not necessarily frying your brain. You're just kind of refreshing yourself.
Exactly. Whereas if you're trying to learn it all today and take in new information, then yeah, it's stressful. But for you, you're just sitting there. I'm going this with you. I'm seeing it. You're just going next, 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 next. Like it's nothing. I mean, you hear in your voice. You don't sound stressed. You sound fine. You're like, let's do 100 more. It's not really a big deal.
That sounds good, man. That sounds good to me. It sounds like, because yesterday I took the exam, and all those questions that we kind of just went over that were wrong, it was like the 13 that were wrong, I went over, I refreshed my memory on what that keyword outline did and the context that I had in it. And a lot of those questions that I got wrong were right in there, and I'm like, okay, so I just kind of refreshed myself on what that is. If it's cool, there was just like one or maybe a couple things that kind of stumped me. So, and is it cool if we kind of go over that real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So warehousing, is that pretty much, just so I can have my own definition, is just when they get like a bunch of loans together to make like a good loan? And
yes. Think of it like selling a 6-pack of soda.
Right.
They're combining it to sell it for a better price.
Got you. Okay. And then I don't know how often this is going to be on the exam or not, but it seems to me like we're also kind of studying to be a mortgage lender because we're learning a lot of these like loans and types of loans.
Oh no, the test for that is much more detailed in that stuff.
Okay. So what exactly is a junior loan? Is a junior loan like a second on the house when people say that?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Okay, so they're just okay. We'll keep it at that easy.
Well, that's what it is. It's not even. It is that easy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about promissory notes and so
let's look here.
Evidence transfer, that's a deed, right?
So let's go real quick, so we can make our way around here.
Okay. I know I'm kind of jumping over the place, but
I want to see because we have this stuff on the thing.
Okay.
So I bust out the book that we have on the system here. And, so what we could do here is just go keyword search. If I can figure out how to spell promissory. Oh, there we go.
Okay, I thought a promissory note was like an IOU.
It's evidence of a debt.
Oh, so an IOU would be an evidence of a debt. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this kind of too much. Okay. That makes sense if you go back and forth.
Yeah, what was the other word you were thinking about?
And then I was looking for like the evidence of the transfer, right? That's a deed.
Exactly. So here, if you think of that word and you just type it up here, it comes up right there. So yeah, evidence of transfer is the deed.
Okay.
I didn't write it that way in the book. Okay, anything else?
No, I think that might be it. Let me yeah, I think you kind of helped me out with some of these other ones that were kind of were kind of complicated at first, and then it seems like when I got on the phone with you, I kind of knew them, and I was like, okay, this is actually not that complicated.
Yep.
Can we kind of go over no, that's not too bad. Okay, so some of the questions on the practice exam, I know everything. You had a video that says anything that has like 1986, put that on there because
no, 1968.
I mean 1968, yeah, 1968. If you have anything that's in 1968, that's gonna, it's gonna be the answer because that's when discrimination against housing and all that stuff it became illegal. You need to qualify everybody for the same amount.
Right, and you see here, I pulled up the vocabulary worksheet and the keyword outline, so you have all the words there if need be too. Okay.
There was also a couple other dates, and there was also a couple other cases that decided on what's what. And I think one of them was with businesses, and then one of them was with personal residence or something.
The only ones that I want you to know is 1968 is fair housing. And then 1990 was the Americans with Disabilities Act. But honestly, it's really 1968. That's the big one you got to know.
Okay. Got you.
I mean, 1866 is when they did the 13th Amendment.
That's the Civil Rights Act, right?
No, that was Civil War.
Oh, right.
1968 was civil rights.
Okay. Well, then we are all good, Joe.
All right, cool. Well, let me know if you need anything, but I'm pretty confident you're going to do well.
Okay.
I will. I'm really pleasantly surprised by how well you're doing, so it's going to be great, I'm sure.
And I'll let you know, how it goes when I take that exam. And
okay, sounds good.
Well, thank you, Joe, for taking the time in your day to kind of help me out with this.
Yep, no problem. And then, we'll talk soon.
Okay, for sure.